Okay, we are live. Welcome to the internet.
Thank you.
This is my dad. His name's Alan Silverman, and I'm trying to find a comfortable position. Yay, here we go. And his name's Alan Silverman, and he is a semi-retired, I guess is the right word for you, since you're looking to jump back in the game.
Well, I'm fully retired right now.
Okay, fully retired, but looking to get back in the game. Pharmacist. And he's hanging out down here in Tennessee for the weekend, and I thought I would, give him his first interview on the internet experience. I also had him watch his first episode of Supernatural this weekend too. So we're gonna start with a little intro. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Clinical hospital pharmacist, specializing in pain management. I went back to school when I was 62 to get my doctorate in pharmacy, which took 4 years. I was chairperson of the pain management committee at the Jersey City Medical Center. I was on the pharmacy and therapeutics committee and the ethics committee. I did a lot of staff teaching and patient consults in pain management, particularly in sickle cell pain crisis.
Yeah, he is a very well-known game changer in the pain management community. He actually started the pain management program over at the Jersey City Medical Center, and they became a role model for other hospitals to step up their game with pain management. He's also published several times over. He's also published poetry as well. You won an award for that.
Yeah.
Nationally renowned poem that he wrote called Abby. And yeah, so obviously I didn't inherit brains, but so you watched Supernatural yesterday for the first time.
My first episode.
Your first episode. You watched season 1, episode 1. So what did you think of it, first off?
Well, I enjoyed it, and it was interesting. It reminded me of a personal experience I had.
Yeah.
A long time ago.
Do you wanna talk about it?
Somebody very close to me had passed away, and something happened that evening when I was in bed. With the door locked and the windows closed, someone grabbed my hand, and I wasn't asleep, and I got this message in my head. It wasn't, it was just implanted there, that it was that person letting me know that it's okay. I don't believe in ghosts, and I do believe there are other dimensions that sometimes we come across that we don't know exist, and I don't know what the explanation is.
So you would, how do I word it? They're not ghosts, but they're just another plane of existence.
That's the only rational explanation that makes sense.
You've had other experiences too. I don't know if you are comfortable sharing the big one you had.
Which one is that?
The glass, and you heard the ding, and then the alarm, and I don't know if you want to share that one. You don't have to.
No.
Okay. Well, for those of you who have not, I did do an episode several weeks ago about personal paranormal experiences. And my dad and I had an interesting conversation about the word paranormal in itself. We'll circle back to that. But I've had several experiences in my old house in Jersey, and I kind of felt, like no one believed me. And then my father called me up several weeks ago. And do you want to describe what you encountered when that guy came running out of my old house?
The house was being worked on by construction people. And when I was walking my dog, I passed the front of what used to be Jody's house, and the guy comes running out frantically. And I asked him what happened, and he said, I was doing some work in the house, and something grabbed me, and I felt the presence, and it made the hair stand up, and I ran out of there, and I'm not going back.
And this guy didn't know us.
No.
He didn't know. I mean, I'm
No.
here in Tennessee. This guy is a construction worker that someone hired to do work in the house.
Mm-hmm.
So that helped give me some validation that I wasn't crazy. Well, maybe not in that regard. We have a couple of comments. My friend Elfini Q is saying hello, and she said, wow, knowing that your loved one is okay on the other side must be so relieving.
It was.
It's comforting. Do you believe, I know that, I mean, you were there actually. Remember when we had that guy come over and he was kind of channeling things?
Yes.
And he said that whenever we see a cardinal, that was that person's way of saying she's around, right? Do you believe in that? Do you believe that's true?
I don't know, one way or another.
Because
I deal with facts and substance.
He's very scientific. He was giving me quantum mechanic lessons earlier.
There are things that happen if you're sensitive, you can be aware of that you can't explain, and they have no rational explanation. I don't know what the answers are, except there are dimensions we're not aware of.
So that brings us back to what I touched on briefly earlier, how you and I were saying, because I was talking to my dad, we were talking about, like, he wanted to know, what am I going to be asking him? What are we going to be talking about? And I said, well, let's talk about maybe some of the paranormal experiences you had. And then he schooled me on the definition of paranormal. He said, it's really not paranormal if it's really happening. It's, it's just unexplained. It's just something we can't explain. So that's interesting, and be cool to hear what you guys think about that and debate that around. Alfinique is also saying she's heard the same thing about butterflies with respect to, when people see a certain thing, it's symbolic in a way. I also have that connection, butterflies, cardinals, and ladybugs. For some reason, I all connect with the same person. And they are always at a moment where I need it, which is really interesting. And I don't know. It's one of those not paranormal, but unexplainable things.
Well, the smartest people in the world, these nuclear physicists, say that their quantum mechanic equations only work if we consider that there could possibly be 10 dimensions. We're aware of 4 dimensions, length, width, height, and time.
Oh, okay. I was going to say volume, but I'm thinking 6th grade math.
Well, length, width, and height is volume.
Right.
And time. That's 4 that we're aware of. But the equations work when we substitute 4 for 10. And they work right through from large-scale cosmology events like the Big Bang down to quantum mechanics. If they don't use 10 dimensions, the equations fail. And the smartest people in the world believe there are more dimensions than we're aware of right now. And they might be tiny portholes, tiny lines on a nuclear scale, or they could be gigantic, like black holes, wormholes. There are things out there we don't understand today that we will have a better grip on in the future.
My dad's self-taught in cosmology, by the way. This is just, what he's taught himself from reading. He's a very avid reader, and he is, I think, Carl Sagan's biggest fan. And you're also very interested in the weather.
I like meteorology, yes, and geology and mathematics.
And so I really clearly didn't inherit his brain. His brain skipped right over me and went to my son, David, who hopefully one day I will be able to humiliate on the internet too.
But you're very creative. You're an artist.
Well, we had a conversation about that a little while ago too. I've had conversations with people where, you know, I have the utmost respect for the scientific brain because I don't have one. So I appreciate people that do have it. And I made a comment to other people saying that scientists are actually more creative than artists to a degree. And it's pissed off a lot of people. But it's just, I mean, that's how I see it. I think that in order for science to advance the way it has and is continuing to, you have to be able to think outside of the box and see things that are not there. And I think that's the point. That's the difference you pointed out, that scientists see things that aren't there yet, or
artists create things that are there.
Yeah. Yeah, so I probably pissed off all of my friends.
Except in abstract art.
Yeah. But science is also, you have to think abstractly.
Well, I can't get my arms around a lot of things that are out there.
Yeah, but the things you do have your arms around are mind-blowing. I mean, the fact that you can explain I think we touched upon like 4 different sciences today alone. Yeah, I'm really, really proud of my dad, and that's why I have him here too. And I also wanted to point out that the fact that I am where I am now with my jewelry and my business is a credit to my father, because when I first expressed an interest in starting to do this professionally, my dad, you know, he bought me my first glass. You know, he had seen this glass and he thought that I could do something with it. And when he first gave it to me, and the glass is the glass that I used in my Tenacity of Dean Winchester piece and my Soul of Sam Winchester piece and Castiel's Grace. Those were all pieces that I designed because my father gave me those tools. And, you know, those to this day, years later, are my most popular pieces. And that's all because of this guy.
I thought you liked the geodes.
I love the geodes.
I was able to find out there and get to you.
Yeah, I love the geodes. And yeah,
I like smacking with a hammer.
I love breaking things. And the kids, oh my God. When you told me that you had shipped me some more geodes, and I told the kids, like, oh, can we get to break them again? Can we smash them? Get out the hammer, get out the hammer.
You want to tell them what a geode is?
I can't tell them from a scientific standpoint. I know that they are rocks and inside there's crystals formed inside, and they're either quartz or amethyst or citrine or other semi-precious materials. But from a science standpoint, you could probably do a much better job than me.
The rocks with a hollow center, and around the hollow center you have crystalline growth. Mm-hmm. So it's like cracking an egg, and you have crystals inside.
There you go. That's it. And the process of breaking them is very therapeutic. You know, what I was doing all this time was I was taking them and I would bring them outside. I would lay a towel down and I'd smack them up with a hammer. And then my dad said to me yesterday, why don't you just put them in a sock? And that way you don't lose any of the pieces and they don't go flying in your, yeah. Again, another example of I don't have his brain. But yeah, so let's circle back to Supernatural a bit. So you got to see a little bit of, you know, what I do with my shop online and stuff. You got to see me working, and you didn't get to see the other part of what I do at conventions and stuff. Would you?
I've spoken to you while you were at the conventions, but I haven't seen what you do.
Would you ever go to a convention?
Sure.
Oh my God. Okay, so we have to plan this. Oh, we still have to plan this. I would love to have my dad at a convention. That would be fun. That would be fun. You get to meet like hundreds of people a day, and I can, you know, just get up and leave and go for a break. Because I'm usually by myself. But if you guys have any questions for my dad regarding, you know, the pilot episode of Supernatural or cosmology in general, or meteorology. This is, or pain management. He can't get you drugs, but he knows a lot about them. Do we have any more comments? Not yet. Oh, you want to go too, Alfinique? Well, you know, there are a lot of times where I might have an extra guest pass that I will be giving away on my show. So if you guys keep watching, you might have a chance at getting said extra guest pass. As a matter of fact, maybe I will have something next week. I believe I have one extra guest pass for the Phoenix convention next month. So maybe I'll have a little contest to see who will get my free guest pass for next week. That'll be fun. You want to go Phoenix?
No.
Okay. So it's definitely up for grabs. My dad doesn't like flying.
No, I don't like flying at all. There are only 3 segments of flying that I don't like. It's the takeoff, the landing, and the cruising.
Well, the cruising, you know.
Because during the cruising, the wings do this, and then they come back and do that.
He has
You're hoping they come back.
He has total William Shatner moments on the plane. Complete William Shatner. What was it? The second time you flew, you told me that.
Well, the first time I flew was a prop jet. It picked up speed, went to the end of the runway, it took off in a straight line. And that's what I thought the modern jet I got on was going to do, but it didn't. And it frightened me. It picked up speed, went down the runway, and as soon as it became airborne, it banked like this, and it looked like the wing was going to hit the trucks on the turnpike. So I got out of my seat. The person I was with said, "You're embarrassing me." And the stewardess told me to sit down. I said, "The plane's going to crash.
There's something on the way.
The wing's going to hit the trucks."
Oh, my girl Shannon. She's my friend that lives in Toronto, my best friend in Toronto. And she says, "Hey, Dad." Hey, Shannon, is the baby sleeping right now? Hopefully. She just had a baby several months ago. She has a boy, and she just had a girl. She's done. She got her set. And Shannon's actually going to be coming with me to Pittsburgh. That's going to be fun.
When's that?
That is in July.
It's going to be busy this summer.
It's going to be busy this summer. Not busy enough. I think there's only the one convention in June and then the one convention in July, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. I'm horrible with dates. I get them wrong all the time. It's amazing because I travel so much that if I got that stuff wrong, I would be out of a lot of money. But somehow for the conventions, when I'm actually traveling, I managed to get it right. But I can't rely on my brain for much. Oh, hells yeah. So are you going to fall asleep naturally or with mommy's little helper? So Shannon, my dad, watched the first episode of Supernatural yesterday. He actually sat through it and he said he liked it. So what did you like about it anyway?
It got my interest. It moved along very rapidly. The storyline was very good. And the actors impressed me. They seemed to be into their work, and the special effects were very good.
Yeah.
And for a moment, you might believe in ghosts.
Until
you think about it.
Which actor's hotter?
The younger one.
The younger one is the taller one, and the one with the really short hair is the older one.
Okay.
So it's still the younger one?
The younger one.
Okay, so my dad's a Sam.
You're asking me what guy's hotter.
Of course I am. Alfinique, the first episode is the lady in white one. Yes. And Shannon said that's her favorite episode ever. Really? I mean, I loved it, and it's obviously what hooked me and got me to watch the rest of the series. I don't know if it's my favorite one, though. But we need recommendations because my dad is not going back to New Jersey without seeing at least 2 episodes of Supernatural. So we need a recommendation. I don't want to just show him the next one. I think we need to show. I was thinking Yellow Fever, but then Meryl was saying no, not Yellow Fever, because you have to really understand Dean to understand how just how funny Yellow Fever is. But I don't know. So what do you think? Yellow Fever or another one? And the video bomber has arrived. Raven? Hi.
Hi. Wait, was that daydreaming?
You were daydreaming. You were losing it. So do you have any questions for Grandpa, Raven?
No.
3 generations of Silverman.
3?
Check it out.
3?
Yeah,
3.
The third.
What do you mean?
Well, Grandpa, me, and you.
Silverman?
Well, you don't have the last name, but you have the family, the genetics.
No, I don't know that.
You don't sound happy. Eric Kripke is missed. Yeah, Eric Kripke is the person who created the series, and he wrote, I think, the first 5 seasons, or is it the first 3? I know the creator wanted it to go up to a certain point, and once it reached that point, he felt the story was told, and then he walked away. But the show has persevered. I mean, years and years and years. It's the longest running sci-fi series on TV.
It used to be Star Trek. And if you ask me what my favorite chapter was, it was Tomorrow Was Yesterday.
Tomorrow's Yesterday, and I know that one, and I know that one.
They get caught in a time warp and go back in time to present day. And
oh, is that when
some present day people are beamed up to the ship and find
remember
themselves
snippets
on board?
And this was the original series.
Yeah, the original Star Trek.
Oh my God, I am so bad.
Dad?
Shannon, Bloodline, I'm going to smack you. I love you, and I know you're joking. That's like the worst episode that the show ever had in all of ever.
What's your Bloodline?
Bloodline was an episode that came out a couple of years ago when they were trying to do a spin-off of Supernatural, and it was so bad. It was so bad. I felt guilty saying it, but it was bad. Oh, wow. I think we're going to do Yellow Fever for you. Do you think Grandpa would like Yellow Fever?
I think so.
Yeah.
Because Yellow Fever is so funny.
Yeah, it's very, very, very funny.
When is he going to watch it?
We'll watch it tomorrow because we're going to watch the new Star Wars in a few minutes, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because my dad has never seen he's seen Star Wars. He has not seen The Force Awakens yet. Don't anybody type any spoilers in that window because no spoilers.
It's really bad. Grandpa doesn't want no.
Yes, he does.
No. But oh, you meant Bloodline for Raven? No! Oh, Bloodline for Raven. Oh, I get it. She's talking about, Shannon was explaining how you are the 3rd generation of the Silvermans. And it's a bloodline. Bloodline, because your comment popped up right when I said what episode should my dad watch? And that's the worst episode named ever. Yeah, so we're just hanging. And thank you, Shannon. I'm sorry.
What?
Shannon said explaining the generation thing. You fell asleep during Bloodline? Yeah. I wish I had, because it's 45 minutes of my life I'll never get back. And it could have been spent more constructively. All right, so do you have any more pearls of wisdom you'd like to share with the audience?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Hi, Fran. Fran Levital is my girl, and I think she's watching this.
Wait, who is?
Fran.
Wait, where?
She's watching via the interwebs.
Where?
Right there.
She's in New York watching.
Us?
Yes!
Where? I don't see her.
Oh my God!
She sees you.
She sees us. She's watching YouTube. But if it's Fran, it's the YouTube, right? That's how Fran says it. It's the YouTube. Oh, Shannon, you fell asleep during Star Wars? Don't, oh my, we have to have, when we're in Pittsburgh, bleh, I can't speak today. When we're in Pittsburgh, we're going to have a talk. Nobody falls asleep on my boyfriend.
Who?
Harry!
Oh.
Han Solo, man.
Why you like him?
Harrison Ford.
Harrison Ford was my first boyfriend ever.
I know that.
I thought
He was there for that moment.
I thought.
I think I've told this story. I think I've told this story many times, but just in case. My dad wanted to take me to the movies, and he told me he was taking me to see Star Wars, and I didn't know what that was, didn't want anything to do with it. I wanted to see Sinbad and the Eye of the Golden Tiger, and I lost that argument. So my dad and I drove into New York, and we went to see Star Wars, and I'm sitting there like a little brat, not enjoying any of it until the moment Harrison Ford pops up on the screen, and I pulled my dad's arm and said, "Who's that?" And that's it. That was it. It was all downhill from there. And let me give you an extremely cool dad story. After that movie, do you know what my dad did? Now, mind you, I was alive when Star Wars first came out. This was before the internet. This was before cell phones. This was strictly yellow pages, white pages, and a phone that was attached to a wall with a cord, believe it or not.
Is that where you got curly hair?
No. So my dad tried to track down Harrison Ford on the phone.
What? You did?
He tried. You got as far as his manager, I think you told me. And
What?
Wait,
Wait,
the
I
bus.
didn't have enough pull.
Wait, is that Fran?
No, that's us, Rave. Stop. You're interrupting. But yeah, my dad tried to get Harrison Ford on the phone. So yeah, that was like one of the most awesome things. The other awesome thing, I can't talk about that. Raven's here.
What?
No, I had done a bad thing when I was a teenager, and my dad had to come pick me up from somewhere. And
from school?
No, it was from a store. And
Your grandpa remembers?
Yes. So I had done a bad thing. I was with a friend of mine who did the bad thing with me, and my friend's parents had come to pick her up, and a friend says, "You guys are too funny."
Well, who is she?
That's Aunt Fran.
Yeah, that's what I said.
All right. So anyway, my friend's parents had come to pick her up, and when they came to pick her up, they beat the out of her in front of everybody and left with her. And then when my dad finally strolls in, he just takes one look at me, bursts out laughing, and everybody's looking like, what is so funny about this situation that I'm not going to talk about because my daughter's right here. And I'm sure everybody figured it out anyway. But anyhow, so that's how cool my dad is.
Mom?
I found out never to ask a question that you know the answer to.
I'm sorry? What?
Mom,
What?
Shannon asked you a question.
A bad thing? Yes, I did one
Wait,
bad.
is that a drug that you just?
No, I'm not talking about drugs.
Oh, okay.
No. I did one bad thing my whole life. Exactly, right? I was perfect.
She's a good girl.
I have a reputation to uphold here, and you're destroying it. But yeah.
Just tell me.
Tell you? No, I'm not telling you.
Is it inappropriate?
Highly inappropriate.
Fine, I will leave.
No, I don't need to announce it on the internet anyway, because
Fine.
everybody's probably figured it all out anyway. But yeah. So, do you have any other pearls of wisdom you'd like to share?
Well, I have a question.
I'm talking. Oh, you have a question for Grandpa?
Yes.
What?
Do you like Supernatural so far?
More than two.
Yeah, Grandpa has to watch another one.
I have polarized binoculars and astronomical binoculars I have to put on the tripod because they're too big and heavy. And I have another pair I gave to your brother, David.
Oh yeah.
When he went to Hawaii, he asked to borrow a pair. I told him to keep them.
Very cool. You had quite a vast collection of binoculars at one point.
Yeah.
We got good memories. Good.
Shannon said, Baja Fran is right. You guys are funny. You don't have a vision.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I'm not hyper.
Oh, can I just say one thing? My dad destroyed Hey Jude for me today. Completely wrecked it. I feel like my life has been a lie.
Wait, what? What happened?
Stop.
Just tell me.
I'm trying to. Okay, so we were listening to Hey Jude in the car today, and my dad explained that, well, I think first you would ask me if I knew what the song was about. And I said, oh yeah, well, it was about, Paul McCartney had written it for Julian Lennon when John Lennon had split from Julian's mother. And instead of saying, hey, Jules, it didn't sound right. So he changed it to Jude. And my dad said, no, it's about heroin. So thanks for that.
What's that?
I told her to listen to the words.
Remember to let her get under your skin. Yeah, sorry.
Did you know that? Yesterday, I guess I can say that Mom got needle on your left arm.
It was on my right. See, I had blood work, and Raven just announced that to everybody. But Fran, but Shannon doesn't know that half of it. Yo, Shannon knows some of it.
What does that mean?
There's much more underneath what people are seeing right now. So, I have a question I ask every single guest of mine, actually, and it's to complete this sentence, and I didn't prep you for it, so it's going to be accurate. All you need is...
Wow.
Just like the smart man John Lennon. Let Grandpa talk. You have to let Grandpa talk. So, I've gotten some pretty unique answers too. Like someone I had interviewed said, all you need is cheese. and then someone else had said wine, which goes nicely with the cheese. Compassion was another answer. But it does all come back down to love after all anyway.
Okay.
Could have said righteousness.
I haven't heard you say that word in a long time, actually. You used to use that word.
What did you say again?
Righteousness. It's about doing the right thing. Always thinking about doing the right thing. And
Who again?
Raven.
I'm sorry.
Oh my goodness. But,
Did you say, oh my goodness?
Oh my goodness. I
Me?
said, oh my goodness to you. Do you have any other?
That's it for my first interview.
That's it for your first interview?
Yeah.
Did you have
Any
fun?
pearls of wisdom? I did.
Okay. So for everybody watching, there will be a quiz on any kind of physics or chemistry that has been mentioned in this show tonight. Thank you for watching. And Shannon and Fran, mwah, mwah. I'm so glad you guys are watching.
I don't know if it's actually 2 or 1.
I don't know. But all right, so say bye-bye. All right, good night, everybody. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next week at the usual time, Tuesday night at 7 Central Time, and I will be announcing a guest soon.
Bye.
All right, good night, everybody. Thanks for watching.
Or good morning, I guess.
Speak